Welcome to Cadence Pointwise's Tutorial Tuesday, where we show you how to use a feature or demonstrate a technique in just a couple of minutes. In this video, we're going to talk about the automatic volume mesh functionality. More specifically, we're going to look at the global tab. To illustrate this feature, I have in front of you the surface grid of half a quadcopter. The surface grid has been created and is ready to go. In order to access the functionality, I'm going to select all my domains and I'm going to go to the Create menu option, and the second option right there is the automatic volume mesh. When you enter there, you're presented with two options to decide whether you want this tool to create the far field for you or not. In our case, we're going to select the first option, so the tool will create the far field. Let me zoom out a little bit so you can have a better view of what is going on right here. If you look at the display window, you can see your surface grid right there, a small box, a big box, and several yellow axes. The small box is the extent box. It's the smallest box you can build that is going to contain the surface grid entirely. The bigger box is a representation of the far field that you are going to obtain. And then you have the H, L, and W axes for the height, the length, and the width. If you look over to your left, you have the global tab. That is the one that we're going to be talking about today. In particular, in this video, I want to show you the options that you have inside the far field mesh frame. We're going to have a different video with the options inside the boundary mesh frame. So here, the first in line is the type. You can decide whether you want an unstructured volume grid or if you want to generate a voxel grid. In our case, we're going to generate an unstructured volume grid. The second in line is the shape of your far field. In this case, we have selected the box shape, which is what we're going to create. But as you can see, we have options for a cylindrical shape or a spherical shape. If you pay attention as I switch between these options, the fields that you have in here to specify the size of your far field are of course going to change depending on the shape that you have selected. The next option right here is to decide where those yellow axes are going to start. If you select this option right here, as you can see, if I zoom in a little bit closer, those axes are going to start at the center of the geometry right there. If I select this other option over here, you can see that these yellow axes are going to start at the faces of that bounding box. The last set of options that we have in here is basically all these entry fields to define how big or how small our far field is going to be. Being this box, you have entry fields for the length, the width, and the height. You also have a field right here for uniform. If you want your far field to have the same dimension in all directions, you can simply specify a number right there, and that is going to happen. But of course, you can change these numbers independently and things are going to be shown in the display window as you change them. The last option that I would like to talk to you in this video is this one right here that allows you to unlock the L1 and L2 fields so you can edit them independently, as you can see right there. You have the same options, of course, for the width and the height fields as well. So with everything ready, I'm going to go ahead and click on the Create Volume Mesh button right there. So Pointwise can very quickly create my volume grid. As you know, the volume grid has been created and is empty at this point. You have a checkbox option right there to decide whether you want to initialize the block when you hit the OK button or not. In my case, I'm going to leave this unchecked and simply hit the OK button. If you like this video, be sure to click the thumbs up button, subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. If you have any questions or suggestions for future videos, drop us a line down below or connect with us on LinkedIn, which is linked in the description. Thank you all and have a pleasant Tuesday.